Use an effleurage stroke to spread the oil up and down the leg, keeping the flat of the hands to make full contact. As you come up the leg, taking care over the knee, applying pressure again to the upper thigh. When ready, using a kneading action to the anterior aspect of the foot, into the tarsal, metatarsal and ankles, when ready, start to migrate up the shin. The shin is quite a bony area, so there's not much to pick up. So best to really use a downward pressure, pushing into the tissue. Again, repeating through the foot and the ankles, coming back up towards the knee. Place fingers just under calf and knead using the thenar and hypothenar aspects of your hand. The thenar aspect is the padded part by the thumb, the hypothenar is the padded part by the wrist, by your little finger. As you lift the tissue, pushing down with the thenar and hypothenar eminence, travelling up and down the shin. This allows a firm pressure into the tissues of the anterior of the lower leg. Pick the leg up and flex the hip and knee. Allow your leg to sit slightly on the toes to hold and support the leg, which stops it slipping. When ready, start to knead into the shin, using your thenar and hypothenar eminence of your hands again to manipulate the tissue. Coming up towards the knee and around the knee joint. You can use a pushing movement and a pulling movement towards you, travelling up and down the knee, towards the foot and back. Now pull back into the calf with your finger pads, compressing the tissue, leaning your body back slightly. When ready, place the leg back down slowly. Again, using the lifting action around the knee joint, pushing down with your thenar and hypothenar eminence of your hand. This works into the ligaments and tendons around the knee joint. Effleurage to the upper thigh, allowing your hands to travel, covering the whole area. Then using your double-handed ironing movement to apply a deeper pressure through the anterior aspect of the upper thigh. pushing down into the tissue. You can then start to use a circular kneading motion, allowing the hands to compress the tissue and drop deeper into it. Covering all aspects of the upper leg, the medial, anterior and lateral aspects. Next, use a locomotion movement with the hands and the thumb either side of the upper thigh. Squeeze with the hands and push up the leg in small circles. This helps to shunt the tissue fluid up the leg. Remember to push from the legs and glide back to repeat. This helps with the forward momentum up the leg. Next, we can use a petrissage movement to the medial aspect of the thigh, picking up the tissue between our thumb and fingers, manipulating and squeezing up and down the leg. When ready, come onto the anterior aspect of the upper thigh. Again, using your thumbs and fingers to knead the tissue. You can also squat slightly to work the more lateral aspect of the upper thigh, traveling up towards the hip and down towards the knee. Another way of working the more lateral aspect of the thigh is to place the leg closer to the opposite leg, moving around the couch, then allowing your hands to pull up through the tissue from the knee up towards the hip, lifting and squeezing between your hands, allowing your body to rest back, keeping your back straight. Then using your fingers and thumbs to allow a kneading action into the lateral aspect of the thigh. When ready, you can take the leg back into position. Working with the forearm, allow the forearm to be placed slightly above the knee, resting the more fleshier end of your forearm into the tissue, gliding up towards the hip and back. You can layer the amounts of pressure you use. Try not to go in too strong, too fast, building up slowly. To achieve more pressure, slow the technique down, drop your body weight through and glide up slowly. When ready, effleurage up through the whole of the leg. Pushing up from the lower leg over the knee towards the hip, keeping full contact. And when ready, start to finger brush down through the leg to finish.